Hi guys, I've had a bit of a shocker here. Come over to the barn. I was going to do a quick video on the Range Rover Classic that I've got here undercover. But my brother has helpfully left his Defender right in the way. And there's also a P38 over there in the way as well. So, and I can't come out around this way because we have two little Z3s in the way as well. So I'm going to try and figure out how to get this out. I haven't got the keys for the Defender, but I'm going to try and push it, see how well that goes. Okay, so as you saw, that went pretty well, to be fair. Thought it'd be harder to move than that. That's the wrong button. That's the right button. Huh. Now we have space to get the Range Rover out. But first, this is my brother. Look at all that cardboard. Rather than fix the leaks, he likes to just soak them up. All right, here it is, guys. British Racing Green Range Rover Classic. 1994. I've owned this thing since 2020, and I've been restoring it, I guess, since then. I mean, a majority of the work was done quite early on, but I'm still working on it. I used this for probably around a year as my daily, and it was not financially feasible. And after that, I sort of parked it up, stripped out the interior, which I'll show you, had everything retrimmed in leather. And I've got to take out all of the seats and restore the leather on those as well. But yeah, I'll whip it out. I'll get it out in the sunshine so you can see how good this British Racing Green is.
Things that got a little out of hand, things they never seem to go to plan. I'm sick and tired of everything being torn down. You know, I tried to work on myself, but it didn't work out. And I don't know why, but I tried anyhow. No, I don't know why.
All right, so inside, here we are. There's certain things I love about these Range Rover Classics, and there's other things that I absolutely hate. And I've tried to remove some of the things that I hate and enhance some of the things that I like. So for example, the hard dash, I much prefer the hard dash in these Range Rover Classics as opposed to the soft dash versions. But something I hate about the inside of these cars is the quality of the plastic that they use. And there's still some of it which remains. But what I've done is I've ripped out the top dash and the center section, the center console. I stitched everything in leather. So I took it to a trimmer down near me and had everything trimmed in leather. And he's done an absolutely awesome job. And now it smells amazing in here. It smells really lovely. And the plan is, so I've done the door cards, dash, center console, and the plan is now to remove the seats, because these, I don't know if you can see this in the camera shot, but these have had their day. That is some crispy leather, so this all needs restoring. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to recolor it in the same color as I've done the door cards and the center console, because it's a slightly warmer, sort of more peachy beige color, as opposed to the light stone which was on these seats that came originally. The dash top, I took a sample of a piece of plastic inside the car and sent it off to, I can't remember what they're called now, sent it off to Woolies, is it? I think it's Woolies, and they gave me a color match on that. So yeah, I mean, I changed this to beige. This would have been obviously grey originally, but yeah, I think grey on top, a little bit of a two-tone situation going on, works very well.
Now I'm giving myself to someone.
So under we go. Now, there's not a huge amount to talk about under here, other than it's really good. There's no rust. Everything that was at all rusty has been treated. There was never any like major rust on this car, just like surface rust, like on the back axle. I mean, that's actually been replaced. So when I first got the car, rear diff was whining, and I replaced the rear diff, and I got a brand new whole axle casing because these were slightly rusty. And look at these. This is beautiful. Look at that, like brand new. So yeah, everything's been coated in Buzzweld, which is really good. My I was going to say how good my shocks are. So these are Monroe Adventurer shocks, or Adventure shocks, or whatever they're called. But that actually looks like it's misting. It's leaking a little bit. Yeah, so that could probably do with not doing that. But they are really good shocks. They're nice and soft. They're not heavy duty ones like some of the stuff that you can get. Yeah, all the A-bar has been replaced at this end with the joint being replaced. Bushes, all the bushes on this have been replaced actually. So every single suspension bush has been renewed completely. New transfer case, which also is leaking, but wouldn't be a proper Land Rover product if it wasn't leaking. That's the Borg Warner chain driven transfer case with the viscous at the front. So these are great. These are like really bulletproof. The viscouses can sometimes seize up if they don't get used a lot. I believe that's the reason that they tend to seize up a little bit. But actually, the reason that I replaced this was because I was getting some vibration along my driveline and I could not find where it was coming from. So I finally replaced this, and it seems to have fixed that. Up at the front, I have a rear main seal leak. Beautiful. Need to fix that at some point. Front axle, what have I done on this? Not much. Oh, I've done the swivel balls because when I first got it, I had this horrendous like shaking from side to side, and I actually thought it was just the steering damper. But as it turned out, it was one of the bearings at the top of the swivel balls had actually collapsed and fallen in on itself, so that needed completely redoing on both, new seals, all that kind of stuff. So that's really super simple. Yeah, and that's about it really on the underside. Chassis is really good. It's just a case of keeping these things clean and treated. But yeah, as you can see up at the back, I mean, it's dirty, but it's not rusty. It's yeah, just needs a good old clean. Oh, it's got Jan Speed exhaust on it, which, to be quite honest with you, I'm not a massive fan of. Yeah, Jan Speed England, but it's okay. It's just a bit noisy. I prefer to have a Range Rover be quiet and sort of reserved, and maybe have a nice burble. But this thing's a little bit boomy, especially on the motorway. But yeah, it's all right. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, underside. Apart from that, is all. That's pretty much it. All new brakes, obviously, and everything works perfectly. Low range all works. 4-wheel drive works really well. Because this is interesting. Well, it's probably not interesting, but to me it is. Because this is a 94 crossover year between the hard dash and the soft dash, on the back axle, this actually has, you might be able to see the loom, yeah. So it has this loom which goes to ABS sensors, or ABS style sensors, in the end of the axle, which is actually rear traction control. So it's, if you were to take this off road, and if it were to spin a back wheel, it would gently tap on the rear brake caliper, individual sides. Actually, it might do it both together. I can't remember. I think it might do individually. Anyway, and taps it. Sort of acts similarly to a locker, not really, but has a kind of same effect, and drives sends the drive forwards or to the opposing wheel. So that's quite cool. I have actually tried that once, and it works really well. So it's the reason it's on this is because they were sort of trialing it on the Range Rover Classics before they were going to the P38. So that's actually the reason that these have air suspension on them as well. What it would have done originally, which is, you can see that That's the air tank for the air suspension that would have been on it, but not on it anymore. It's been converted to springs, which I'm fine with. But yeah, things like that is what Land Rover, that's what Land Rover was sort of doing in the mid 90s before they brought out the P38, because they wanted to just test a few things before putting onto the P38. And they still didn't get it right with the P38, to be quite honest with you. Or at least that's what I'm told. But yeah. Anyway, let's lower this down and maybe do a bit of a quick drive. So yeah, as I'd mentioned before, this is the 3.9 V8, Rover V8. Not a high performance engine by any means. Some of the variants of the Rover V8 were not overly reliable, but I'd argue that this one, the 3.9, is pretty damn good. There's my noisy exhaust. Yeah, not such a fan of that, but yeah, maybe I'm just used to my 405 being so quiet inside. I mean, that's obviously the 4.4 diesel in that, but it's just so quiet. Whereas this is like a big drone all of the time. Obviously only being a 4-speed as well. Yeah, I mean, it handles the bumps well for an old Range Rover, you know? Bit wallowy, but doesn't do anything unexpected. Testing this out, going straight up the hill. It's quite a steep hill, this. Giving it a little bit of a workout. It's not been run for a while, so it's just literally been sat. Everything's working nice. No lights on the dash. Getting up to temperature okay. Gearbox is changing nicely. The annoying thing, when I put this new steering wheel on, for some reason it sits slightly to the right. Now I've tried taking it back off and moving it on the spindle one to the left, and then it sits too far to the left, so it's literally just right in between two things. So I need to, I guess it must be tracking, get it tracked up again. But wait for a gap here. Mental, this road, people drive far too fast, but there we go. That is a very large tractor. Crikey. This is nice. I want to start using this again. I just wish it was better on fuel, because like on a run the best I can get is 13 miles per gallon. That's the best I've got, but like the reality is it's not really that usable, and like using it around like this, like hopping in and out of town, it's going to be probably doing less than 10 miles per gallon. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, it does tend to smell a bit like it's over fueling, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that's just how these things were. They're just very inefficient engines. But it's lovely to drive. It's just so relaxing. Still gets up and goes. If you need it to, it's not fast. But it'll rev, it'll make some noise. Ah, road ahead closed. I'm gonna have to turn around. That's not ideal. Who knew that was gonna happen? Oh dear, right. Yeah, I love this old thing. Trusty old horse. Cool, yeah, it's a bit noisy. Forgot what it's like riding the bumps. Like it. Oh, hey, there's this big old tractor again. Familiar sight here in Somerset. Yeah, this steering wheel is way nicer than the old one that I used to have. It just feels more expensive. A thinner grip, 4 spokes, so you can just grab them here, you can grab them there. Maybe not there, actually, that feels weird. But yeah, it just feels, it is bigger in terms of diameter than the original one. But yeah, it just feels more expensive. I actually wrapped this in leather myself on the edge because I don't think these square the 4 spokes, I don't think they ever actually came with leather on them. And this was a new old stock steering wheel that I got. It was brand new, just off the shelf, and it never been used. And I thought, you know what, that's going to look nice with a bit of leather in the same colour as the dash on there. So yeah. Still a bit shuddery, the ride on these old things. I know I've replaced the shocks and springs are on coils, but I don't think it's necessarily to do with the suspension. I think it's more to do with the construction of the interior, and also the construction of just the cabin. I know it's on a chassis, but the body being on the chassis and the body just having these like thin pillars everywhere, I think sort of contributes to its shaky shudderiness. I don't want to get run off by an Asda van. But yeah, I mean, you only really notice that if you're going through potholes or, you know, very uneven ground, something like that. But generally speaking, it's pretty smooth. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video. Like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing more videos on my newer Range Rovers,